Good morning, students. Till now we have covered the modules which have included electrostatics and magnetostatics. That is, the electric field due to static charges and the magnetic field due to static charges. Right. Next comes the time varying fields. That is, as the time varies, the magnetic field will also vary, or the electrostatic field will also vary. So they are called as the time varying fields. Right. So if there is a electric field, then the magnetic field may be induced. If there is a magnetic field, then the electric field may be induced. So both are interdependent upon each other. In electrostatics and magnetostatics, they are independent, that is, they do not depend upon each other. But in the time varying fields, right, the electric field and the magnetic field are interdependent. They are dependent upon each other. That means we can induce the magnetic field from the electric field, or we can induce the electric field from the magnetic field. So they are interdependent. So using this interdependency, we can write the Maxwell's equation. And before writing the Maxwell's equation, let us study the basic fundamental Faraday's law and Lenz's law. So first is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Right. So according to the statement of Faraday's law, the electromotive force induced in a closed path or circuit is proportional to, the EMF is proportional to rate of change of flux with respect to time. That is minus n d phi by dt, where n is the number of turns of the circuit, turns in the circuit, and E is the induced EMF. This law you have also studied in your basic electrical in the first year. So E is given by, induced EMF is given by the rate of change of flux with respect to time. That is, E is equal to minus n into d phi by dt. If the number of turns is 1, that is for single turn of the conductor or of the closed circuit, then we can write this equation as E is equal to minus d phi by dt. E is equal to minus d phi by dt. Right. Here this minus sign indicates that the effect opposes the cause. That is, when the EMF is induced, the current is induced, so the magnetic flux is produced. This magnetic flux will oppose the rate of change of flux. Right. So the effect will oppose the cause. Right. So this is the significance of this minus sign. So with this statement of the Faraday's law, next let us go to the Lenz's law. So this Lenz's law gives the direction of induced EMF. It says that the direction of induced EMF is such that it opposes the cause producing it. Right. So what it means? So as in the above equation of the Faraday's law, we have E is equal to minus n into d phi by dt. So the significance of this minus sign, that is negative sign, is given by the Lenz's law. So the Lenz's law states that when the EMF is induced, it produces the current. So this current will produce the flux, and this flux will oppose the rate of change of flux, that is the cause. So the effect is opposing the cause. So this is given by the Lenz's law. This is the statement of the Lenz's law. That is, the direction of induced EMF is such that it opposes the cause producing it. That is, it is opposing the changes in the magnetic flux. Right. So from this equation, we can write the equation for the induced EMF. Right, as it is a scalar quantity, we can write the equation as E is equal to closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar, where E is the electric field intensity. Right. So that is, E is given by, from the basic we have seen during the Coulomb's law, right, in the first module, that E is given by Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square AR bar. E is given by Q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square AR bar. Correct. So it is dependent on the charge or the current. So in this closed path, if any of the path changes, then the induced EMF is going to be affected, or the induced EMF will also change. The total EMF will also change. If any of the path or the differential element changes, the total EMF also changes. Then we can write the equation for the flux. We can write the equation for the flux as phi is equal to the surface integral b bar dot ds bar, b bar dot ds bar, where b is the magnetic flux density. B is magnetic flux density. B is flux per unit area, so area and ds will cancel, so LHS will be equal to RHS. Phi is equal to phi. Next we can write the equation for the EMF induced, as E is equal to right, what is the equation here? So the basic equation what we have written for EMF according to Faraday's law is E is equal to minus d phi by dt, or minus n into d phi by dt. So from this we can write the equation as this is minus d by dt of phi equation just now we wrote, that is b bar dot ds bar over the surface integral. Okay, so this is, take it as equation. Previous equation we had numbered it as that is this equation will number it as 4 and this as 5, right? So from the equations, the previous equation and this equation, we can write the EMF equation. E is equal to surface integral E bar dot dl bar. What was the previous equation? So third equation, that is E is equal to E bar dot dl bar. So it is E bar dot dl bar. Okay, so this is, and this E is also given by minus d by dt of surface integral b bar dot ds bar, right? So this is the final equation. Take it as equation number 6. Okay, so what it indicates here? It indicates that there are 3 points to be noted here. That is, EMF may be induced when the conductor is moving and the field is constant. EMF may be induced when the field is moving and the conductor is constant. EMF may be induced when both are moving, that is when conductor is moving and also when the field is varying. Okay, so these are the 3 points, observations that we can make with respect to the induced EMF. Next we will see a small derivation. A stationary closed path in a time varying b bar field statically induced EMF. A stationary closed path, time varying b bar field, statically induced EMF. That is, conductor is constant here. Conductor is constant, whereas field is changing. Field is moving or field is changing. Let us consider this path here. So this is our changing magnetic field, increasing b bar or changing b bar, increasing b bar. So we have the induced EMF. This is the induced EMF, and the changing field cuts the conductors. EMF is induced, so this is the induced EMF. Fine. So this is our E. Okay. So here we can write the equation, because this B is varying sinusoidally, or B is changing, right, with respect to the conductor. Conductor is stationary. So the equation that we have written previously, there is a previous equation that we wrote here, that is this equation. E is equal to minus E, that is E bar dot dl bar, surface integral E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus d by dt of b bar dot ds bar, So this equation we'll consider here again. Now I can write here this b bar equation is changing with respect to time and also with respect to the coordinates. So this I can write it here as the closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar. This is equal to minus of the surface integral dou b bar, that is I am taking partial derivative, dou t dot ds bar. So what was the previous equation we had written? E is equal to closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar is equal to minus d by dt surface integral b bar dot ds bar. As here we have the magnetic field varying with respect to time and also with respect to coordinates, so I can take a partial differentiation. So I will take this d by dt inside, so it will be minus surface integral dou b bar by dou t dot ds bar. So this is nothing but similar to the transformer action. So in the transformer also, due to the changing flux, right, due to changing flux, EMF is induced. So hence the EMF induced here in this particular condition is called as transformer EMF. So using Stokes theorem, so according to Stokes theorem, we have Stokes theorem. What is Stokes theorem, students? So Stokes theorem is the closed surface integral E bar dot dl bar, this is equal to closed surface integral of del cross E bar dot ds bar. This is the Stokes theorem. So in the previous equation, replace this E bar dot dl bar with this equation. So that is surface integral del cross E bar dot ds bar, this is equal to minus surface integral dou b bar by dou t dot ds bar. I hope everybody are following here, students. Yes. So next, assume that both sides of the integral are for the similar surfaces. So if we take for the similar surfaces, then the integral may be similar, the integral will be similar. So the inside terms will all be, we can equate the inside terms if the integrals are similar and we are considering for similar surfaces. So on this basis we can write the equation as del cross E bar dot ds bar, this is equal to minus dou b bar by dou t dot ds bar. Hence finally we can write del cross E bar. So in this equation, ds bar and ds bar are identical, so that is del cross E bar is equal to, they will cancel, so we get del cross E bar is equal to minus dou b bar by dou t, okay. So take it as the equation number. So previous equation was the equation number, that is 7, we can write it as 7, equation number 7, okay. So here what we can conclude is, if the b bar is not changing, so differentiation of constant will be 0. So what will this equation turn out to? So del cross E bar will become equal to 0. So this is one equation, okay. Then in the equation for E bar dot dl bar, here E bar dot dl bar, that is in the equation for E bar dot dl bar, the basic equation that we considered, this equation. So if we substitute again, b bar is constant, so integral will be 0. So again we get the equation as this equation d b bar dou b bar by dou t will be 0 because b bar is constant. So we get E bar dot dl bar over the surface integral, this will be equal to 0. So what it indicates, we are getting the condition for the electrostatic fields. So these are the conditions for the electrostatic fields, right. So what it indicates here, if the field is not changing, then it will result into the equations for the without the motion of the charges, that is the charges not in motion, and that is for constant or static electric fields we get the equations if the magnetic field is constant. Let us go through one more equation. A moving closed path in static b bar field, dynamically induced EMF, fine. So here the condition is conductor is moving, conductor is changing or conductor is moving, whereas field is constant. Consider this figure here. So here I am considering with respect to x and y axis. X, this is y, this is our closed path or the closed circuit. Okay, this is our conductor, closed path or the closed circuit. Okay, then we have the field here. This is our field. Okay, we have the field. So we have the field here, right? So I'm marking the fields, right? Then here we have the velocity v bar, the force on the charge, that is F bar. Okay, so this is a closed path moving in static b bar field with velocity v. This is the figure for closed path moving in static b bar field with velocity v. Fine, students. Next we have, so what is the condition here? Conductor is moving, field is constant. So such a EMF is called as dynamically induced EMF. So there are two types of EMF here. One is statically induced EMF. Statically induced EMF means the field is varying whereas the conductor is constant. It is called statically induced EMF. Dynamically induced EMF means the conductor is moving. Dynamically induced EMF, the conductor is moving whereas the field is constant. Okay. So here the EMF induced is called as the generator EMF because here the conductor is moving, the field is constant, so the EMF will be induced. So it is similar to generator action, and thus the EMF induced is called as the generator EMF. If we consider the charge Q is moved or is moving in magnetic field B bar, at velocity V bar, then the force on the charge is given by the equation Q V bar into B bar. This is the equation for the force on the charge. That is, the product of charge into velocity into magnetic flux density gives the force on the charge. Further, we know the equation for the electric field intensity, motional electric field intensity or the electric field intensity, as the electric field intensity is given by force upon charge. E is equal to F by Q or F bar by Q. So F bar by Q means, if you take F bar by Q in the previous equation, what we get here? F bar by Q will be equal to V bar into B bar. So the induced EMF can be written as, the induced EMF equation can be written as, so here we got the equation for EM bar. Okay, this is the equation for the motional induced EMF, that is due to movement of the charges, that is EM is equal to V bar cross B bar, V bar into B bar. Okay, so here we can write the equation as the closed surface integral EM bar dot DL bar. This is equal to, so I will take the dot product here over the closed surface integral of the whatever equation EM bar we have got, EM bar dot DL bar. This is equal to, what is the equation for EM bar we have got? That is closed surface integral of V bar into B bar dot DL bar, V bar into B bar dot DL bar. So this equation is nothing but the EMF induced when the conductor is moving and the magnetic field is stationary or the magnetic field is constant. So let us number this equation. Previous numbered equation was 7. So let us take it as 8. There is one more equation that comes into picture here. If the direction of velocity V bar with which the conductor is moving is perpendicular to the magnetic field, if the conductor that is moving with velocity V bar is perpendicular, it is perpendicular to the magnetic field B bar, then the equation is given by E is equal to BLV sin theta. BLV sin theta, where L is the length of the conductor, right? V is the velocity, B is the magnetic flux density, and theta is the angle between the conductor and the magnetic flux density. So this is the EMF induced. So if they are perpendicular, then this equation will be simply E is equal to BLV, because theta is 90 degree, so it will be simply E is equal to BLV. Fine. So this is the second derivation, students. Then next, one more topic we will go through here, that is about the displacement current density. displacement, current density, displacement current density, and displacement current density and displacement current density and the displacement current. So this is one of the important topics. Many times it has been asked in examination. For the static electromagnetic fields, according to Ampere's circuital law, we know that del cross H bar is equal to J bar. This is Ampere's circuital law. If we consider the vector identity, then according to the vector identity we have divergence of the curl, that is del dot divergence of the curl del cross H bar of any vector field. This is equal to del dot J bar, so that is equal to 0. Right? So divergence of the curl of any vector field, that is nothing but del dot J bar, because del J is nothing but del cross H. Okay, so that is equal to 0. So take this as 1, this as 2. Continuity equation of current is given by del dot J bar. This is equal to minus dou rho V by dou T, where J bar is the current density, that is current per unit area, and rho V is the volume charge density, that is charge per unit volume. So this is the continuity equation of the current. Continuity equation of current. Okay. Take it as equation 3. So this equation, that is the equation 3, from this it is clear that when dou rho V by dou T is equal to 0, then only the equation, that is del dot J bar will be equal to 0. Right? So del dot J bar is equal to 0. So what it indicates, dou rho V by dou T must be equal to 0. So if dou rho V by dou T is equal to 0, that means rho V is constant. Yes or no? Rho V is constant. So differentiation of constant is 0. So that means what? This equation, whatever the fundamental equation from where we have started with, cannot be applied for the varying electromagnetic fields. They cannot be applied for varying electromagnetic fields. So it means that we have to do some modification in this equation. So to do some modification in this basic equation. So after doing the modification, what modification is done is we have to add some term to this. So del cross H bar, that is equal to J bar plus N bar. I am adding an unknown term, say N bar, to this equation, so that we can apply the equation for the varying electromagnetic fields. Now take the divergence again on both sides. So again take divergence on both sides. Divergence, so take it as this as 4, this as 5. Take divergence on both sides of equation, 5 So what we get here, if we take the divergence again, that is divergence will be del dot of del cross H bar, this will be equal to del dot J bar plus del dot N bar. This is equal to 0. What was the previous equation? Del cross H bar is equal to J bar plus N bar. So I am applying divergence to this. Del dot of del cross H bar is equal to del dot J bar plus del dot N bar, because del cross H bar is equal to 0. So that is equated to 0. So that is what I have written here. Here as del dot J bar, this is equal to minus dou rho V by dou T. This is the continuity equation of current. So if this equation, that is minus dou rho V by dou T, is substituted in this, then what should be del dot N bar then? Del dot N bar should be equal to plus dou rho V by dou T. Yes or no? So del dot N bar should be plus dou rho V by dou T, so that plus dou rho V by dou T and minus dou rho V by dou T will be cancel out and we will get 0. Fine. According to Gauss law, we know that the equation is given by rho V is equal to del dot D bar. That is the volume charge density is equal to divergence of the electric flux density. Volume charge density is equal to the divergence of the electric flux density. So this is called as Gauss law in differential form, or Maxwell's first equation. This is called Gauss law in differential form, or Maxwell's first equation. Now in the above equation, replace rho v by del dot d bar. Replace rho v by del dot d bar. So what we get then? Del dot n bar, this is equal to dou by dou, that is del dot n bar. Here del dot n bar is equal to, in this equation, so let us take this as 6, then this is 7, this as 8. So in equation 8 replace rho v by del dot d bar. So del dot n bar, this is equal to dou by dou t of del dot d bar. So this is nothing but, del is nothing but a scalar quantity, so it is constant, take it outside. So del dot of dou d bar by dou t. So if we compare the LHS and RHS of this equation, we get n bar is equal to dou d bar by dou t, fine. So this we got for the n bar, that is the unknown term what we had assumed at the beginning. Now we can write the equation del cross h bar is equal to, that is what equation we had considered, del dot j bar plus del dot n bar. So this is nothing but, I can write it as jc plus, that is dou d bar by dou t. So that is del dot j bar is, I have taken it as jc, then del dot n bar, that is I am taking it as dou d bar by dou t. Okay, that is del cross h, fine. So del cross h is jc plus n bar, here it is, this equation number 5, del cross h bar is equal to j bar plus n bar. So j is, now it is changed, it is modified for the varying fields. So jc plus n bar is dou d bar by dou t, correct. So now this jc is called as the conduction current density, that is the current density for the moving fields or for the moving charges or for the moving current. So it is conduction current density. Similarly, we have one more term here, that is dou d bar by dou t. So this term, the second term, is called as displacement density or displacement current density, right, denoted by JD. So JD is equal to dou d bar by dou t. So this is nothing but displacement current density, current density. Okay, so here this is displacement current density. So in this, if I substitute, what I get here finally, so after substituting in the above equation, I can get del cross h bar. So this displacement current density is again due to the movement of the charges. Whatever current I am getting, this current d bar, that is electric flux density, that is nothing but, that is displacement current density, that is dou d bar by dou t, that is JD. Okay. So now finally I can write the equation as del cross h bar, that is equal to jc bar plus jd bar, right. So this is our final equation. So students, in today's class we have gone through various topics. So we have started with the time varying fields, that is module 5, Maxwell's equation, Faraday's law, then Lenz's law, right. Then we took up a stationary closed path in a time varying B bar field, statically induced EMF, that is conductor is constant, field is changing. We derived the equation. Then later the conductor is moving, field is constant, a moving closed path in static B bar field, dynamically induced EMF, again we derived the equation, small derivation. Then displacement current density and displacement current, we derived the equation for the displacement current density and the displacement current, starting from the Ampere's circuital law. I hope students everybody have understood. If there are any doubts, send your doubts to me. I will clear your doubts. Thank you.